What's up, guys? Twin Cities Rider here. I'm gonna do a little ADV slash motorcycling tips and tricks here in the form of what tools to bring when you're going motorcycling. So, I have switched and mixed and matched my tool bag multiple times, adding, subtracting things, mainly overpacking and forgetting to bring things when I absolutely needed them over the past 6 years, and have finally come up with a system that, for the most part, seems to work on most of my trips. And yeah, I'm going to break it down here for you. So, the way I do this is I break it down to three different categories of motorcycling. I have weekend motorcycling, I have street touring motorcycling, and I have ADV motorcycling. An ADV can include dual sport riding where I'm going multiple days. I don't have a truck with me. Basically, I'm traveling off-road. So that's a separate kit than the street touring one. So what I have in front of me right now is my weekend kit. This is what I bring with me when I'm just going camping for the weekend. Maybe it's a long weekend, but I'm staying in the local area for the most part. Typically, where if something major went wrong with my motorcycle, I could just get it towed back at a relatively reasonable cost. I'd ideally be back that same day if I called for a tow truck. So yeah, basically there's a bailout plan in that scenario. So I don't worry about bringing tools. I save the space in my pannier for bringing stuff for the weekend, like a fishing pole or what have you. And what I have here is an air compressor. This is if I need to adjust the air pressure in my wheels, maybe doing a different type of riding or something like that, and I want to drop the air pressure, and then I hop on the highway, want to increase it a little bit. I got this, as well as if I get a flat, and tire pressure, of course, so I can know what my pressure's at. And then in here, I have a tire plug kit. And this is just in case I get a flat. Now, like I said, I could just get a tow, but my experience, it's faster to just fix the flat yourself and then be on your way than to get your bike towed. So, if I have a tubeless bike, I just bring this little kit, which is these two tools here for plugging tires, tire plugs, and then some rubber cement that I still in the bag. There it is, some rubber cement. So that's what's in this bag. Now, if I'm riding a motorcycle that has tube tires, I have to bring something a little bit different. So if I have a tube bike, that means either I have to bring inner tubes or patches. In my case, I bring both. I bring patches and replacement inner tubes, as well as you're going to have to get a means of getting those inner tubes out of the bike. So in here I have tire changing tools, basically wrenches to get wheels off, as well as tire spoons. And a little stand that I use that I can prop a bike up just in case it doesn't have a center stand. So if it's a tube bike, this is my weekend kit right here. Okay, so next we're going to shift into my touring kit. So this is like a multi-day, typically like week-long trip, going away, going long distance, lots of miles. This is the kit I'll bring, and I just consider it my street touring kit. And my street touring bike, it's a V-Strom 1000. It's a tubeless bike, so I bring my tire plug kit. I don't bring any tubes or any tire wrenches. I actually don't bring anything to even take the front wheel off. The only wheel tools I even bring is a wrench so that I can loosen up the rear axle just in case I have to adjust the chain, the drive chain, that is. Okay, so the touring kit is basically my weekend kit plus some additional tools. And in this tool bag, I have zip ties. You can never have enough zip ties. They're super useful. They've saved me multiple times. I bring all the wrenches and Allen wrenches and sockets, what have you. I need to do the basic maintenance for my bike, so like changing an air filter, servicing the drive chain, replacing the oil, stuff like that. If I'm going to be on a long tour, I want to be able to do those things just in case I have to. So I bring the tools I need to do that in the most basic sense. I don't bring a torque wrench or anything like that. I kind of just do it a little bit rougher on the road, but that works out okay. So, and in addition to that, I got some additional tools in here. Now, right now I have this set up for the ADV kit. Normally I would not have these items in here, but I would have everything else that I have in here. That includes a chain breaker slash riveter, just in case I have to replace a master link or chain has a failure on the road and I have to replace it. Bring some extra bolts, nuts, just various fasteners just in case something falls off my bike. For the most part, there's something in here to replace about any screw or bolt on a bike. Bring some extra valve stems just in case I get like a faulty one on my tire. Super helpful to have, as well as a valve stem remover. And the valve stem remover is actually needed to change a tube on a tube bike, so extra bonus there. Alright, so that is basically it, except for this. Oh, that was loud. I do bring some chain lube along with me on long tours. I don't clean my chain at all, but I just add a little bit here just to keep the O-rings kind of like lubricated, and when you spray it off, it takes a little bit of the grit off, so I don't know. It's kind of helpful. I think it works. I ideally would clean my chain as well, but historically I've found carrying the kerosene with and then the brush and all that stuff, it's a hassle to do it perfect, as well as space consuming, so I just kind of said, you know, screw it, chains aren't that expensive. I'll clean it up right before I leave, lube it along the way, and keep the slack correct. But on a sealed chain, I'm just not going to worry about doing much more than that on a road trip. So that is what I do there. Now, this is going to be a little bit different with the ADV setup, but not that different. Again, subtract the tire plug kit. Most ADV bikes, unless I'm bringing my V-Strom, are going to have tubes, so I'll bring some tubes with, as well as the tire changing tool kit I mentioned earlier, except I'll open this up this time and show you guys what I got here. So in here I have 3 tire spoons, and 2 of these tire spoons are the wrenches I need to get the wheels off of my DRZ. And yeah, they're super awesome. They're made by Tusk. They're made out of aluminum, so they're like super lightweight. They weigh nothing and accomplishes 2 things. Doesn't take up a lot of space. And then I just got 1 extra Motion Pro spoon just to kind of help out. And then I also carry this with me. There's probably tons of different variations of these, but basically this is like a trail stand. I just put it together like this. There's a hole drilled in here. I take this little Allen wrench and pop that in there like that. And then I can prop this under my bike. I'll pop it up on this video here. at a certain point, and I can do this with a sport bike, a dirt bike. You can really do this with any motorcycle that doesn't have a center stand to get the rear wheel off the ground if you have to. So, yeah, these things are super useful. You just got to find that kind of sweet spot to apply it to your bike to get that bike held up and relatively stable while you're working on it. Okay, and those items I took out of my bag earlier are the last couple things for the ADV kit, and that's just a valve stem, a valve stem puller. So when I'm popping my new tube in the tire after I've replaced it, and I have to get that valve stem to feed through the rim, it can be kind of hard to reach between the tire and stuff to do that. Basically, with this, I just hook it on the tube before I stuff it in the tire, and then once I'm ready, and I have to feed it through the rim first, I should say. Then I attach it to the tube, then I stuff the tube into the tire, and it helps me just kind of pull it through so I can easily just get it, finish up the tire, and yeah, do the rest of the thing. And these other two items are related to tire changing as well. This is just tire lube I bought from AutoZone in like a big bucket. I just put a little bit in one of these Nalgene bottles. So I just have enough to do like 1 or 2 tire changes, and then some Johnson & Johnson powder just to get the tubes to go in without a whole lot of friction, and then also just to have less friction when it's expanding, so it's less likely to fold over on itself. I just coat the whole tube before I start packing it in with this stuff, and seems to help out. I heard that tip on a forum or somewhere along the line, but great thing to use. So yeah, this is what I bring on all my trips. Really, you could probably skip all of this stuff and maybe get away with it, but I don't like to risk it. I've had multiple occasions where I've had to like replace something. A couple extra things I do bring to it I haven't mentioned in this kit. Currently I had to buy some, is some JB Weld, just in case I have to fix something. The zip ties help out too, and sometimes I'll pack extra levers or maybe a shift lever, something like that, if I really think I'm going to be banging the bike up. But for the most part, I just bring some things that would allow me to kind of fix something in a pinch, at least well enough to get to town. And that's what a lot of this ADV kit here is all about with the extra stuff. I mean, off-road, especially like if you're doing single track, it might be hard for them to get a truck to you. I mean, helicopter extractions sometimes are the only resort, and I mean, those got to be crazy expensive. So when I'm off-road, like long distance away, and there's not like a pickup I can just push the bike out of the woods 2 miles and then load it up. If I'm deep in the wilderness, far away from home, I bring pretty much everything I need to just perform like emergency medicine on my bike. Whatever I need to do to just keep it running a little bit longer to get to a highway or someplace where I can get some help. So when I'm riding off-road like that, I definitely bring all of these things. Street touring, I have gone without, and typically it's just fine. Chains don't fail that often if it's checked out and you've tested it for a little while before you took off. You could probably get away with skipping a lot of this stuff, but it's kind of just how much risk you're comfortable with. So, yeah. Add, subtract, do what you want. This is what I bring, and so far it has been working out well. So that's all I got for you guys. Twin Cities Rider out.